Hi, what's up guys? Today I would like to show you my Sky Striker deck profile. It's been a while since I last posted a deck profile, but I will do it more often in the future. So let's go into the deck. For the Sky Striker monsters I play 3 Ray and 1 Rose. I don't play any other monsters in the deck because it's a going second Sky Striker build. The build is really similar to Ryan Yu's deck profile that he used in YCS Niagara, and I liked his decks, so I tried it and I made a couple changes to it. Next, I play 3 Sky Striker Mobilize Engage, 3 Widow Anchor, 2 Sharkan, 1 Linkage, 1 Multi-Roll, 1 Afterburners, and 1 Hornet Drones. So the 3 Engage, the Widow Anchor is basically a staple. 2 Sharkan, they are really good in the current format to banish cards from your opponent's grave or steal cards from your opponent's grave to link them off. Linkage is interesting because initially I played 3 copies of this card, but in this going second build I want to use my other extract monsters beside of Sky Striker monsters, and with the linkage I cannot because Spirit Knight is very strong, so when I steal one of my opponent's monster with Widow Anchor or with Shakan, I want to go into a Spirit Knight to deal with another card from my opponent's board. And also Spirit Knight is great disruption because even if I leave it in my main monster zone, I can just banish it to interrupt my opponent, and it will clear my main monster zone. And other Sky Striker cards, Afterburners is at 1 because it's not that impactful as the other power spells that I play, and Multi-Roll is enough at 1 copy because with the going second build I want to play more impactful spells and I want to activate them before, so most of the time I go into Multi-Roll only if I have enough Sky Striker cards that I can activate, so not all the time I go into Multi-Roll. And I don't play Area 0 because it's again not that strong a card. Next, for draw cards I play 3 Upstart Goblin, 3 Desires, and 1 Reinforcement Army as a searcher. So these cards can fill my grave with spells really easily. Upstart Goblin prevents me from easily OTKing with linkage, but it's not that easy to OTK anyway because most of the time your opponent has multiple disruptions, or you need your battle phase to go for Hayate or something like that, so OTKing is really hard. And Desires is interesting in this deck because you don't want to banish your one-off cards, but having a card that you can activate as a first card to put a spell in your grave and also gets you a +1 is very strong, and it baits your opponent Ash or other interruptions. And Reinforcement Army is to search your warriors, and also it's another spell that you can put in your grave. Next, for the power spells, 3 Trust, 2 Talent. So 3 Trust because it's a really strong card that can get you any of your spells, and if my opponent let me go first, I play one imperm to set it out of the trust, and two talents because I don't want to play multiple of cards that I can only activate once per turn. So the only three of cards that are hard ones per turn are Trust and the Desires. But they are really strong, so I don't want to cut them to two. And the other board breakers, 3 Raigeki, because it's not hard ones per turn, and it's really good to break my opponent's board. And with this deck I want to let my opponent to play their whole hand and extra deck, so I want my opponent to waste all his resources, and that's the reason I don't play Fools in this deck. I tried it out to stop my opponent from going all in and to draw more cards, but if I'm not OTKing, my opponent can OTK my next turn, because this deck doesn't have enough defensive capability. So my best way to play this deck is to let my opponent commit, full commit, and break his whole board, clear everything, and put up some interruptions with Widow Anchor or Shark Cannon or Respite Knight to get rid of the chance to my opponent to get OTKing. Next, 2 Lightning Storm to clear back row or monsters, 1 Duster, another way to clear the back row, and 2 Cosmic Cyclone. I was iffy on this card because it's only 1-on-1 removal, but it's an easy way to put a spell in the grave, and a lot of the meta decks has a back row that you can get rid of and you want to get rid of, and also it's a quick play spell. So even if your opponent lets you go first, or you are going second and you are breaking your opponent's board and you don't need to activate the cycle, you can just set it as another interruption. Next I play 2 Forbidden Droplet. Again, this card is hard per turn and it's really good to break boards, but I don't want to draw multiples of it. And 1 Call by the Grave. This card I also wanted to get rid of because it's not fantastic against every matchup, but when it's good, it's really good, so I put it back. In some games that either my opponent let me go first, or I don't have, my opponent doesn't have anything in the grave that it's really worth to banish, I just hold into this card and wait it for Ash on engage, but it's creates some strange situation where you want to activate the Call by the Grave to put a third spell in the grave, but you want to hold it for activating engage, so it's some situations are really not that great, but Call by the Grave is really good against banishing, for example, Promethean Princess or other problematic cards from my opponent's grave. And that's it for the main deck. In the extra, I play 3 Kagari, because it's the best one to get back your resources from grave. 2 Shizuku, only 2 because it's a going second build and you usually don't need a third one to go into, and you need more other cards in your extra deck. So 2 Hayate, because it's good to set up your grave and put the card back with Kagari. And next 1 Kaina, to gain life points to win in time, or to prevent your opponent from killing you, because it can prevent 1 attack. Next 1 Azala and 1 Zeke to link off your opponent cards and get rid of your opponent's card. You can summon these two even if you activate the linkage, so they are needed in this deck. And the non-Sky Striker cards are Dark and Hita. To get your opponent's resources from grave, to put more damage on the board, or to get, for example, your opponent's monster and get into Espirital Knight, for example. Next one, Espirital Knight. This is the best card in the deck, so in almost any deck. One Access Code Talker to clear your opponent's remaining cards, or easier to go into game. And the last card in the extra is one Typhoon, and Typhoon is also a really strong card to break boards if your opponent has monsters above 3k or above 3k, and also you can overlay it on top of one of the cards you steal from your opponent. So it's a way to get rid of your opponent's card instead of giving them back. And that's it for the extra deck and deck profile. Let me know in the comments what do you think about this deck, what would you change, and what other deck profiles would you like to see. Thanks for watching and see you next time.